These performers do not get paid to be on stage, so they do it for the love of dance. So please give them a round of applause. Start now. Una bulla para los bailarines, por favor.
Despite the different styles, forms, and evolutions of the dance, salsa has become a worldwide phenomenon. And the best salsa dancers showcase their interpretations at highly anticipated events known as Salsa Congresses, the leading expos of salsa dance on an international scale. They take place in England, Italy, Japan, Colombia, Switzerland, and Spain, just to name a few. And in American cities and territories such as New York, Los Angeles, Puerto Rico, and of course, Miami.
Traveling around the world, I was invited to all these salsa congresses to do rueda. I said to myself, in 2002, why don't we have one in Miami? So I asked a friend of mine that was producing these events, hey, would you start one with me? And he said, yeah. In 2002, we did the first one. And then from there on, we took it to the beach and it's taken off and it's been 13 years. And it's become from a 600-person event to over 5,000-person event. And it's become a massive monster every year.
And remember Zen. This year she has worked her way through the ranks and performs on stage.
I don't think I'll stop dancing ever. I'm probably gonna keep doing this for the rest of my life. And even if I'm like really old, you know, as long as I can still move my feet, I think I'll keep dancing salsa.
Like the dance itself, the salsa sensation is constantly changing, always moving. It's never fixed, never still, but spreads across cultural borders, adapting, mixing, and inviting everyone to join in the dance.
I think it's going to keep growing. I think as we keep getting salsa competitions like the World Latin Cup, ESPN's doing it, I think as we keep evolving and people, promoters like myself or teachers keep teaching people how to dance salsa, it doesn't matter if it's Cali, R2 or Casino Rueda, I think salsa's going to evolve. I think it's going to evolve and I hope it keeps evolving even the day that I'm not here. It just keeps growing because it's been my lifestyle for 20-something years. I think salsa will never end.
Cruzando fronteras, voy sobreviviendo. Doy gracias a Dios por este regalo. Él me dio la voz y yo te la he dado con gusto. Rompiendo barreras, voy sobreviviendo. Cruzando fronteras, voy sobreviviendo. Para ti, mi gente, siempre cantaré. Te daré mi azúcar, caramba, y sobreviviré. Rompiendo barreras, sobreviviendo, cruzando fronteras, voy sobreviviendo. Yo viviré, yo viviré, yo viviré y sobreviviré.
We come from all over, and we become one state, where we share in the history and become part of the culture that is Florida. The Florida Humanities Council, bringing Floridians together by sharing the stories of our state.
It's really important for AAPI stories to be told.
When we search for who we are,
It's so amazing, the family history I never knew.
when the journey
This was the beginning of our journey to seek the American dream.
brings us home.
Just getting those stories out there, that can be a very powerful thing.
World, breaking through.
I'm David Weston. Join me for the next generation of Wall Street Week, telling stories of capitalism from business, markets, economics, tech, and climate. Each week, we'll go on the road for a look at what lies behind the headlines of today and what will likely be the headlines tomorrow.
Above all else, it's a mission.
It's done nothing but grow immensely. To me, that's an extraordinary sign.
We can be the change that we want to see.
Watch the all-new Wall Street Week. More than what you need to know, it's what you need to think about.
You are ready to go.
Did you get that? That is incredible.
We are a part of a revolution.
That, for me, is so exciting.
New Mexico is a spiritual place for artists and writers, where the impact of the landscape and rich cultural traditions is a source of limitless inspiration. One of its most beloved authors, Rodolfo Anaya, is a founder of Chicano literature and one of the first Hispanic Americans to achieve publishing success with his 1972 novel, Bless Me Ultima. New Mexico is the stage, Anaya says, on which I find drama and meaning in my life.
Major support for Rodolfo Anaya, The Magic of Words, was provided by the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, with additional support provided by the following.
The people of this country knew the loneliness of the Llano. They realized that sometimes the silence of the endless plain grew so heavy and oppressive that it became unbearable. When men heard voices in the wind of the Llano, they knew it was time to ride to the village just to listen to the voices of other men. They knew that after many days of riding alone under the burning sun and listening only to the moaning wind, a man could begin to talk to himself. When a man heard the sound of his voice in the silence, he sensed the danger of his lonely existence.
How can we describe Rodolfo Anaya? One phrase comes up. Una fuente de fábulas. He's a fountain of fables.
He is our child that speaks the words for our community. He is the adult that knows the stories, the godfather, the padrino.
Rodolfo wants to tell stories about New Mexico because he thinks that we are losing our culture and stories retain our culture.
Anaya has written novels, mysteries, essays, plays, and children's stories, all honoring and helping to preserve the Hispanic cultural history of New Mexico.
We have literature, we have oral tradition, we have a folklore, we have a mythology, we have our own legends, and they're very important to us, and they define us.
Rodolfo Anaya represents for the Hispanic community of New Mexico the same as he represents for the Hispanic community of the Southwest and of the United States. He is a voice. He is a beacon of understanding through his literature.
You have to put me in the context of New Mexico and its cultures. We have a history here in New Mexico, both in the Native American and with the old Hispanics that came here. In other words, we're heirs to a great tradition, and that great tradition speaks to us. And it's there all the time. It's speaking all the time.
A tradition seen in the signs of early Native Americans who left a whisper of their civilization etched on canyon walls centuries ago.